Well, it's been a while. I had some things I had to do, so time gets away from you, you know how that goes. Anyway, my focus is changing from my N scale now to, searching for that railroad history that's outdoors. That's a big part of my channel also. So I've got a few of those things coming up that I'm working on, but I wanted to just do a small video of, you might call it, illusions. And that's how you can set up your scenery to give the illusion something's happening, but it's not really there. So I'll show you just a few things that I do. Maybe it'll help you. Well, for starters, this is the size of my railroad layout. It's not a huge layout. And I wanted to get as much in as I could that reflects what I like, maybe some of my past history, and that sort of thing. And when I started this, there's videos of me building the layout table, of course, and painting the backdrop. And those clouds that you see back there is about the extent of my artistic nature that I carry. So it's not like I can paint buildings and streets. So I have to improvise a little bit. So when I started building the layout, I started back here against this backdrop. I started with this hill over here. And then I put in the hills, and I call these bluffs because I live in the bluff country of Minnesota. So I put in this first and ended up over here. So another look at that would be here. And I wanted to give the illusion that these bluffs were, in the background, that there were trees growing on the bluffs, and it's off in the distance. So I used a lot of small stuff in here. Lots of small scenery. And in spots I put some animals. I got some bears over here. Over here I've got a hiker. And there's some deer over here. And because I live in a town called Red Wing, and there's actually a bluff called Barn Bluff, I added some climbers on this one because there are some rock climbers that come to our community and climb these bluffs. And then I put in a park down on the bottom. That's similar to the state park that's in our area with the bluffs. And I put a stream in the back. And I do have some fishermen back in there that are fishing on that stream. And getting back to some of the roads, you'll see my picnic area over here. And that road actually winds around the bluff. And yeah, it dead ends back there, but from most of the angle that you see this road, it looks like it's going around the corner. I did the same thing with my rivers. I have one river on my layout. And it starts over there, comes through, and goes out that way. And it's hard to see from underneath through the layouts. I'll pan around over here to this one. It's kind of hard to see with the camera in there what I did, but I didn't want it to just end at the backdrop. So what I did was I rounded off the edge. I think you can see it there now. I rounded it off so that it looks like it's going around the corner. That way it didn't just stop dead right at my backdrop. And I did the same thing on this one. You can see it's rounding around the corner, and then it dies off in that crotch over there. This way it looks like it's continuing for the most part. And my background in the hills looks like it's off in the distance. And then when I added trees, I started with the smallest trees I could find in the background and came forward with my smaller trees, and then once I got across the tracks I started adding in bigger trees, and as I come forward to the front of the layout I'll add a few even bigger trees to give that, you know, the look of depth. That was what I was trying to do. Here's another one of my roads. This is my lumber mill, and I've got a road there. You can see the lumber truck heading out into the trees. So from here you see the road going in, but you don't see where it's going. So if I just pan around here, you can see how I put trees in front of it, and there's a little bit of where you can see the dead end from one angle, but for the most part it looks like it's going into the woods. And I did the same thing over here. If you look right here, you can hardly see the lumber truck that's in there on the road, and just behind those trees there's a road. I'll bring you over there and show you that. So here's another place where from this angle at the end you can see the road going through the trees. And yeah, there's a place that dead ends, but you hardly see that at all. So it gives the illusion that there's a road going through there, just like these other ones do. And I did that in another spot. I'll pan around over here. This is my little village of White Rock that I call it. And if you follow the road into town, comes down by the old farm, comes up the hill, passes the diner, the garage, and goes into a little town. And if you look back in here, it kind of winds around that building and goes to the left back there, and it gives the illusion that it's just running out of town, rather than having something that ends and dead ends right into a back, you know, the scenery of your backdrop. So that's some of the things that I did. I don't know if it'll help you. I hope it does. But if you're not artistic like me and can't draw the roads back there, and you can't afford some of these expensive backdrops, if you can at least paint some clouds and some blue on a backdrop, you can go ahead and make your scenery. If you're at least able to do something like this, it kind of gives that look that it's in the background, like it's way off in the distance. And I think I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. So I just wanted to share that with you, and I hope it helps a little bit. You know, I'm not a professional. I consider myself just an everyday guy that's trying to build an N scale. And I know I've got a lot of work to it yet. And I work on it mainly when weather's bad or in the winter. And like I say, I go out and about and find railroad history to share with people, because in the summer I just love doing that. Well, I hope that little tidbit of information helps someone on their way to building their railroad, whether it's an N scale or an HO or whatever. And I'll see you on my next one. Till then, have a great day or days, and God bless you.